The other day I was sitting in my apartment and looking around at all the things I acquired throughout my life. Expensive furniture, designer clothes, high-end tech products. At one point or another, these things made me so happy, ecstatic actually, because they were the results of all those years of hard work in running my own business. But eventually that initial happiness faded. I found myself wanting more materialistic items and designer products to feel that sense of joy again. But the same thing happened. I only felt temporarily happy. And at first I was confused. I achieved the big dream that everyone strives for. I had the career, the nice home, and everything I ever wanted. And according to society, these materialistic things should have granted me happiness for the rest of my life. Turns out this wasn't the case. In fact, many people feel this way once they acquire a certain amount of money. And that's because the age-old saying really is true. Money doesn't buy happiness. So today, I want to talk about what actually makes people happy and how I've redefined happiness in my own life. If you ask the average person what would make them happier, they will probably answer with one word: money. And this makes sense because you can do so many things with money. You can buy a nice house, a fancy car. You can travel all over the world eating at every restaurant you feast your eyes on. And you can buy whatever you want: makeup, clothes, jewelry, the latest tech products, you name it. And with social media being all the rage these days, we're constantly bombarded with ads that are selling us products we want and influencers who seem to be living picture-perfect lives. For some people, this may motivate them to want to work harder and smarter to live that kind of life. For most of us, it just makes us feel more down and depressed. And we start feeling like if we just had more money to buy all these things we would want in life, then we would become happy. But if that was actually true, then millionaires and lottery winners would be the happiest people on the planet. Here's why. So think back to a time when you bought something new, like new shoes, a new car, or a new video game. You probably felt really excited at first and maybe for a few weeks after. This is because our brain releases a type of hormone and neurotransmitter called dopamine, which makes us feel happy, motivated, and satisfied in life. But eventually, that thing you bought is not new anymore. You get bored of it and you mentally move on to the next new thing. This is because the dopamine starts to wear off and our brain returns to a baseline level, which is known as hedonic adaptation. And this, of course, applies to money as well. If you get a raise at work and start making 50,000 per year, eventually you're going to want to earn more money. And if you do start earning more money, you're going to want more and more and more, and it will never stop. That's because in this case, our brain is getting that dopamine hit from earning more money. And then it returns to baseline or normal levels. And then we want more money to feel that rush of dopamine again. It's a never-ending cycle that doesn't result in anything except more stress and possibly more mental health ailments. In fact, high amounts of wealth are actually linked to depression, anxiety, stress, and other disorders, especially for lottery winners and millionaires. Now, there are a few reasons why this might be the case, like strained relationships with family and friends, because everyone may start looking at you for financial help. Boredom, because after a while, the novelty of materialism and money wears off. Increased difficulty with financial planning because of frivolous spending habits, which usually leads to bankruptcy or more stress. A feeling of isolation and loneliness because fewer people relate to you on an emotional level. They might even mock you for feeling unhappy when you're wealthy. Increased likelihood of drug and alcohol addictions. Now granted, this doesn't mean that if you become rich, you will become unhappy or more stressed out or have strained relationships in your life, because this isn't the case for everyone. But these definitely have been observed in many celebrities, multimillionaires, and lottery winners, which are ironically the very labels that many of us strive for. In short, my point is to not expect long-term permanent happiness if you do become rich or get that job you've always wanted or buy that new designer product, because the dopamine in your brain will just return back to baseline levels once the initial excitement wears off. Which begs the question, if these things don't make us happy, what will? What does it actually mean to be happy? So, as I mentioned before, all of the results of my hard work, aka money and materialism, didn't grant me permanent happiness. But do you know what does make me happy? My children, my relationships with friends, and my work, my paintings, not because of any financial gain, but because I truly love what I do. Even the little things in life make me so happy to be alive. Making coffee in the morning, seeing the sunshine from outside my window, making people smile. These mean the world to me because they give me a sense of purpose and fulfillment in life. And that's what true happiness is all about. Being happy is not about feeling elated all the time, because realistically, you're not going to feel joyful every waking second. You're going to have bad days. That's why happiness is more like a state of mind where you feel satisfied, fulfilled, and confident in life because you've connected with things that truly matter to you. It's about the friends you make along the way. It's about being kind to other people, having gratitude for the things you do have rather than the things you don't have, having compassion, giving to others, prioritizing experiences rather than materialism, and working on your personal growth, your journey. These are also associated with some of the happiest people in the world, monks. They meditate for hours on end with only the basics for food, clothing, and shelter. Not a speck of materialism is in sight, and yet their faces beam with pure joy. This is because their happiness comes from within, from a place of deep purpose and fulfillment. And I think if we all took the time to look inward rather than outwards, then we may just find what we've been looking for all along. This is definitely a topic that most of us struggle with, because at the end of the day, we all want to be happy, and we're conditioned to believe that money and materialism are the answer, when in reality it may leave you feeling more bored and stressed out because that initial novelty wears off. And yes, money definitely helps with happiness to a certain extent. We can meet all of our basic needs like food, clothing, and shelter with money. But then it becomes about the wants rather than needs. And that's something that money can never satisfy. So let me know what happiness means to you in the comment section below. And if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content on personal development and art coming soon. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!